You recently told the story of Steve Jobs and his middle-class upbringing. Tell us about how that upbringing prepared him to become the success he did. And then let's talk about what's changed.
Yeah, so, Steve Jobs, he's obviously one of the most successful entrepreneurs, created Apple and a whole bunch of products that really changed the way we live. And he came from really very basic middle-class beginnings in the Silicon Valley. His dad only had a high school education, but they were able to provide him sort of a stable middle-class background to get him a good education. And he went to college, got more education than his father, and he was able to build upon that education to go further. And he talks about the skills he learned that helped him create the Apple computer in a certain way because of the kinds of things he learned. And he was really emblematic of his generation, where it was very typical for people to go ahead and get more education than their parents, and where the United States actually led the world in college achievement. And now, if you look at today, where it's unfortunately becoming more and more common for people to actually have the same or less education than their parents, and the United States has fallen from first to about 15th in the world in college completion rates. And that has a long-term effect on our economic growth. Absolutely.
But we hear all the time now that even after kids are graduating from college, that a lot of them are moving back in with mom and dad. So that higher education used to translate into better jobs, and that the kids would tend to be more successful, at least monetarily, than their parents had been. We just don't see, it seems like it's going the other way right now, is it?
It's not going up, unfortunately. The idea, that's sort of the idea that you would, do better than your parents, that you weren't, that you would have this upward mobility was kind of the essence of the American dream, that each generation was going to do better off. And unfortunately, all the signs are that that's not going to be the case.